Welcome to my channel Soulmate. My name is Justice. This is the outcome of what we're going to be making. You can see how the sleeve is looking so beautiful, and it is very easy and simple and straightforward to learn and make. So I'll implore you to stay to the end to get the best part of it. Welcome Soulmate. Now for us to draft the sleeve, what the measurement we need is our round sleeve armhole. Around sleeve armhole, you measure it. I've measured here, I'm going to have in 19. Now because the sleeve is going to be pleated around the sleeve armhole, I'm going to multiply the 19 into 2, and that will be around 38. But if you don't want the pleat to be much, you can just add half of the round armhole to it, so that you not have so much to pleat, even though the pleat is not going to be much. So once I have that, I'm going to use it to cut a half circle for one sleeve and another half circle for the other side of the sleeve. Now if you want to put them together, you can actually have a full round circle and then divide it into two for the two sleeves. But here I'm going to be making it separately so that you can all understand. So what I'm going to be doing is 38 divide by, to get the radius of what I'm going to be working. So half circle is usually divided by 3.14. So 38 divided by 3.14. Whatever it gives me is what I will use to do this. So 38 divided by 3.14, which is for half circle, is going to give me 12. Now the length of the sleeve I'm having is 8. So 12 plus 8 is 20. So the fabric I'm going to be using should be up to 20 or more than 20, so as to come accommodate the measurements that I'm going to be having. So I have here a fabric that I'm going to be using. I folded it into two. Measuring here to here is more than 20 already. But if you're going to be taking it, you need to have it up to 20 so that it can go round. So once I folded into two like this, I'm now going to fold it as a triangle this way for a half circle. Except you want to do a full circle, then you can go ahead and do so. So I have something like this. What I'm going to do is to measure first of all 20, which is 12, to measure 12, which is my radius. So I'm going to mark 12 from the tip. I'll mark 12. So once I mark the 12, I'm going to connect it round like this. Then I'm going to measure the length of my sleeve, which is 8. You can decide to add half inch for joining it to the lining because it's going to have lining. So while here is for the radius, here is for my sleeve. Now I'm going to cut it this way and cut. I'm going to be adding half an inch, like I said, for joining allowance. You can see what we have. I've cut here. This one also is not among. This is what we need. Now I'm going to go ahead and cut this into two for the second sleeve, and I'll also cut lining for the both sleeves, just using the same shape as this. Now before I go ahead to cut other ones, I need to trim this part. Now we'll locate the midpoint of the sleeve. I'll locate the midpoint of this sleeve, which is here, and from that midpoint I'm going to trim it to this edge. So this is what I'll do from here. I'm going to slightly trim to the midpoint. Now cut it out. So this is what we have. Now as it is like this, I'm going to use it to cut other pieces. So these are the pieces that I have. The lining has been cut and the main fabric I've added a stay to it. This is paper gum or paper stay, whichever one you choose to call it. You can decide to use peplum stay, but I used paper stay on this, okay, so it doesn't become too strong, but then you can use peplum stay. So the lining is cut the same way also. The two of them, iron the paper stay on the main fabric, then the lining. You can also choose to iron on both the lining and the paper stay. I just need something light, so if you want it more stronger, you add on both sides. So the next thing we're going to do now is to join the lining to the fabric. In this case, I'm just trying to locate the midpoint so that the lining and the fabric will stay together. I will join them to where they are supposed to be. That's a balance mark. Okay. So from that notch at the middle, I'm just going to join my lining together from one end, or from the middle to one end, from the middle also to the other end. So I'll just join them together and you'll see the outcome. So if you've watched to this part, please kindly subscribe to this channel. So once I've joined them together, I also ironed it and top stitch it at the top. You can see the parts that I sewed together. That is the lower part, the round part. Then the upper part, I did not join the lining together. I just top stitch so that it stays in one place. Okay, so like so we are proceeding. Now at the middle, I did not open it. This is the part that will stay under the arm, so you can decide to open it, you can decide not to open it. Okay, so the part where my hand is at the lower part, that's the part that will stay, have the base of the sleeve, the round sleeve where your hand is going to come out from. So you measure your round sleeve or your round arm where the sleeve is going to be stopping, how much freeness you want around it. So the roundness of my arm, the base of the arm is 13.5. 13.5, and because the fabric is folded into two, I'll divide 13.5 into two, and this is the part that will be open where my hand is going to come out from. Then I'm going to join the remaining parts very close to the tip, not leaving so much allowance, very close to the tip. I will join it together. So I've joined it together like so. This is the part that is open. The upper part too is open. So from here, I'm going to bring it out. Okay, carefully bring it out. So like I was saying, if you've not subscribed, please, this is the time for you to kindly do so. Turn on the notification bell so that you get notified each time we'll have new video tutorials. Very interesting and straightforward also. So once I've turned it this way, you can see the way it is. Now the upper part, we're going to either gather it or pleat it to a round arm measurement. Remember, the round arm we're working with is about 19. That is the round sleeve, around 19. If you need it to have puff too, you know what to do. Now this is the plate, and this part that the tip is coming out, we don't want it this way, so I'm going to be trimming off this pointy part. Okay, I'm going to be trimming it off. So you equally have to trim yours off so that it will be easy for you to join. You can decide to gather it if it's in excess. If it's not, you can simply just sew it like that. If you still want to cut trim it a little, you're allowed to do so, so that everything fits in very well. I will not be fixing this to the sleeve right now. I will just put it on a mannequin for us to see how it is, because I'm not yet done with the blouse where I want to fix the sleeve. This is the blouse where I want to fix the sleeve. I'm not yet done with it, and that's why I will not be fixing it to the blouse now. So for you, if you want to fix it now, you just go ahead and fix it normally the way you fix your normal sleeve. So like you've seen before, this is the outcome of the sleeve, and this is how I'm going to be fixing it to the blouse once I'm done with the things I want to do on the blouse. Okay, so if you love this tutorial, please give it a thumbs up, leave a comment, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.